I'm a graphic designer and a curator. I'll say in general I'm a creative. It's been a long road that's taken many turns. I studied design, not immediately. I did 2 years of economics, but I realized very quickly I wasn't gelling with it. But you know, your parents, they don't know what else you want to do, so let's try. So I did it for 2 years, but then I just signed out. And after that, I moved to Milan and studied design. That was a 5-year course, and after that, I did a master's and also got a job at the same time. So I was working in an ad agency. Specific mentors? Not necessarily, yeah. I just kind of draw inspiration from a lot of different places, so I don't think there's one specifically. When I was in university, it was the same thing. I didn't learn a lot of stuff only from my lecturers. It was a lot from also my peers, because maybe you don't know how to use a program well, and you get a friend who knows how to read. He's gone and read the manual from beginning to end, which I would never do. And so you sit with them and you learn from them. I don't take criticism very well. So I tend to try to figure things out on my own. But that said, I'm not saying I didn't have any help from anybody, because obviously I'm constantly, again, interacting with those around me. So whatever it is you have, it doesn't matter. You're probably special in that department because you have that gift that no one else can replicate. One is your passion for what you're doing needs to be there, because there's hard times and you need your passion to kind of push you through that. And actually, for me, it's been even a refuge a lot of times when other things are not working well. I find happiness in doing this, whether it's, you know, it's frustrating and there's all the problems that come with it, your lights off days and this and that, but, you know, we work with it. So I think your passion in what you're doing is very important, because it will carry you through a lot of difficulties. I've worked in a few different departments in my life, but I finally settled now on what I'm doing, which is basically I'm running 2 concept stores. One is featured, it's geared more towards a lifestyle of you know, street style wear. So you'll have a lot of t-shirts and baseball caps and things like that. It's a unisex type of environment, so we have things for men and women or children as well. The other concept store is Elle Lokko, which is geared towards women. And there we focus on products that are made in Africa, but have that modern and international feel. There's always challenges, but then it gets you to use your head, use your brain and get creative, you know, in trying to solve them. Majority of our challenges are with the inconsistent supply, which, I mean, I don't blame my suppliers because it's an issue of production. And I don't think we are very well equipped just yet, you know, to produce a lot of items that people would want to be able to do. Just to give you an example, t-shirts in general, you don't have anyone really producing a t-shirt here, which is, I think, the most basic clothing item you could possibly have. We don't have factories that produce for a Ghanaian market. We do have factories, but they mostly produce for export. So even there, you're working with extremely big orders. And yes, I mean, it makes sense in a business sense to a factory that's working with volumes. But then nothing comes onto the local markets, which makes it also very difficult for, you know, the up-and-coming designers that want to have some form of expression, you know, using t-shirts. We're kind of inventing it as we're going along, so I'm very observant of what's happening on the local scene, as far as, you know, what the youth are doing, you know, society, how it's being shaped and changed, because I've seen a big change since I moved back in 2007 as well. So you just try and keep your eyes alert, you know, on what the pulse of the city is about. So it's helped. I mean, everything I've done up to this point, I think, has in some way added value to what I'm doing now. My creative hustle, I would say, is creating a platform for creatives in Accra, and whoever else wants to latch on. You know, we have people from Nigeria, Burkina, and whatnot, all participating in what we're doing. So for me, it's basically a platform that we use for exposure.